Okay, so this is a bit more of an unusual video than I'm used to making, and well, I'm used to making no videos at all. Really, I haven't made any in months. But I want to do a review of the new D&D book, Tasha's Cauldron of Everything, which I think is a month old now, so I'm a little bit late. But I'm mostly doing this because I want to go over this stuff in case players within my own campaign may want to use any of the new features or multi-class into any of the new subclasses or the entirely new Artificer class. Well, though it's not new, I guess it's just now you can use it in any setting, but still. Or new magic items, yada yada yada, new features, all that. Feats as well. So the preface of this video well, not the preface, the premise of this video will be on the Artificer class, which I will just basically run over. This is mostly just to get anyone who's watching this interested in the book and or the class, and I will edit in stuff about the features so that you can read a little more in depth about it. But I'm mostly going to be going off the top of my head for most of these. So the Artificer class, think of it like a steampunk wizard of a kind. Instead of casting magic in your usual way, you build machines or use tools or use some other medium to channel your magic through. This is pretty well represented in the magical tinkering first level Artificer feature, which allows you to do stuff like when you touch something, you can start shedding light. You can quite literally put a recorded message into an object, or you can use it to emit an odor or nonverbal sound or a static image. So if you kind of go along the track of that, that's kind of the stuff you can do with the Artificer. I think you can also not only enchant items a little bit better than normal, but you can also replicate magic items better than most. So that I can see that being very useful in all honesty. So spell casting, you mostly need to channel your magic through tools, any tool proficiency you have. So when you begin the class, I think you get proficiency in tools. Yep, thieves tools, tinker's tools, and one artisan's tools of your choice. I think if you're multi-classing into an artificer, you only get thieves tools and tinkers, but you also get light armor, medium armor, and shields. Both if you're taking it as your base class or multi-classing. You get your own spell list. That's a little more limited than, well, obviously the wizards. But it just goes over in the book. You get things like Acid Splash, Booming Blade, and Mage Hand for cantrips, and other things like Absorb Elements, Alarm, Levitate, and stuff like that for your main leveled spells. You at second level you can infuse an item. I'm going to do a separate thing for infusions, but this is just basically enchanting it or replicating a magic item. Like as a DM, if you're replicating a magic item, I might cut the cost of gold and materials needed in half for not only the ones that are in the book, but also most common magic items that I think you could feasibly build. Ask your DM about stuff like that if that's what you're interested in, because you can already build magic items and stuff as a normal player. But like just to give the Artificer that extra kick, you might be able to do that with common items. Because I know one of these features later, I think it's the 10th level feature, allows you to do that already with common and up. But I just think that should be more for uncommon and up. So, because I think you should just be able to make common items easier than other classes, just because, well, if other classes can do it, at least to my knowledge already, I think you should get a little bit of a bonus there instead, at least whenever you choose to infuse an item. You get other stuff, like you can store spells in an item, you get some expertise with tools, ability score improvements, you're able to make artisan's tools, like you can take an hour to magically make them, so that's pretty cool. And of course you get your specialists, which is nice. So, oh yeah, and at later levels you can attune up to 6 magic items total to yourself. And if you're near death, you can break one of the infusions or magic items you've made, in order to gain some hit points. So like if you fall to 0, you could do that and gain 1 hit point back, as long as you aren't killed outright and you're only knocked down for death saving throws. So specialist classes, Alchemist. For anyone that's gone over the Wizard, you'll notice that it basically already has an Alchemist class, the Transmutation Wizard. But what I like for this one is that, like, well, the Transmutation Wizard gets, like, all of the mythical alchemical stuff, like turning silver and wood and iron into any of those respective ones. So, you know, changing matter itself, like the elements of it. And you get, like, the Philosopher's Stone, and think one of its abilities is essentially just the elixir of life. Like, you get the more mythical stuff like that. With this one is way more focused on actually making potions and stuff. So you get your expanded spell list, which I will put up now. So just look over that quickly. And then you also get stuff like experimental elixirs. So whenever you do, I believe it's a long rest, but it may also be on a short rest, you can make an experimental elixir, which you would roll a d6 for to determine that effect. That can be anywhere from a better form of healing potion to flight, or you just get a free alter self spell cast. That's pretty nice. During those rests, you can also expend spell slots to make another one of these, except you actually get to choose the effect instead of it being random. And I believe the effect lasts until you are at your next rest. Hold on, let me look through this. Oh yeah, and while I'm looking through, I'll just say this, like, with the expending of spell slots, if it's a first level spell, obviously you can make 1 extra. If it's a second level, you can make 2, or you can just expend 2 first level spell slots. That's pretty easy. So creating an experimental elixir requires... Yeah, okay. So it lasts until you either drink it or until the end of your next long rest. So that's that. You get other things like extra resistances to acid and poison damage. You can cast things like Lesser Restoration and at later levels Greater Restoration and heal itself without expending a spell slot. And I think you can do that a number of times equal to your intelligence modifier. So that's pretty cool. You can also add extra healing benefits to, like, if someone else or yourself drinks an experimental elixir that isn't a healing one, you can make it so that the creature still gains temporary hit points equal to 2d6 plus your intelligence modifier. So that's pretty good. Armor, you're basically Iron Man. So you make a... Oh yeah, I should also mention with Alchemist, obviously you get tool proficiencies in Alchemist supplies. If you already have that, you can change the proficiency, but blah, 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 blah. Okay, now onto armor. So you're basically Iron Man. You get tool proficiencies in heavy armor and Smith's tools. I think... Again, with Smith's tools, if you already have proficiency in Smith's tools, you can just change that out for whatever. You get an expanded spell list, like Magic Missile, Shatter, Lightning Bolt, Fire Shield. You get the point. You can upgrade your armor. Like, well, first of all, you can make Arcane Armor at 3rd level, where you can increase stuff like... you can ignore the strength requirement of certain armor, and... you can have the armor attach itself to you, and it can't be removed against your will. It also expands to cover your entire body, should you want it to, although you can retract it and such like that. So, again, Iron Man. You can later upgrade it. Oh, yeah, if you... So, wait, I think I just caught this one out of the corner of my eye. The armor replaces any missing limbs functioning identical to a limb it replaces. Okay, well... That works. So if your arm gets chopped off, the armor itself can just replace that arm for you, but I think it's only within the armor. You can also later like upgrade what your armor can do, like things like Thunder Gauntlets, which just allow you to deal 1d10 thunder damage on hit. Lightning Launcher, that's basically just Iron Man's repulsors. Dampening Field, Power Steps, Defensive Shield, which, you know, obviously has you do well, it just gives you a bonus action, and I think you gain temporary hit points equal to your level, so that's nice. Other things like Guardian and Infiltrator, which Guardian, you design your armor to be in the front line of combat. Infiltrator, you customize your armor for more settled undertakings. This is later expanded on at 15th level with Perfected Armor, where you just get some bonuses, which I will put up there for just 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. You could go back and pause if you want to read that. But I'm moving on to Artillerist. So Artillerist, extra tool proficiencies, Woodcarver's tools. Again, already have them, but yada yada yada. Get extra spells like Shield, Thunder Wave, Scorching Ray, Wind Wall, Ice Storm, stuff like that. And you get to build an Eldritch Cannon, which is a really cool thing. It's essentially, well, a giant fucking cannon you can carry around, or you can have it wheeled across on a battlefield. It has a natural AC of 18, and I think if it does die, you can make another one with a spell slot. This one, like the Eldritch Cannon, has a lot to it, so I'm just going to post that too, and as I continue talking about a couple of the complicated ones, I'll just put it off in a corner while I bring up other stuff. So you can, I'm not sure if you can upgrade it or if you just choose what type of cannon it is, but there are 3 subvariants. So there is the Flamethrower, the Force Ballista, and the Protector. Flamethrower exhales fire. It's a flamethrower. Force Ballista, you can make ranged spell attacks originating from the cannon at one creature within at least 120 feet of it, and it takes 2d8 force damage. Cool. Protector, the cannon emits a burst of positive energy that grants itself and each creature of your choice within 10 feet a number of temporary hit points equal to 1d8 plus your intelligence modifier. Arcane Firearm, you can turn wands, staffs, and rods and stuff into what are essentially guns. Explosive Cannon. So this makes the cannon's damage rolls increase by 1d8, and I think you get another action where you can command the cannon to detonate, so you can make it blow itself up. Fortified Position. You and all your allies have half cover while within 10 feet of the cannon. That's pretty nice. There's another one of those effects where I think you can now have 2 cannons out at the same time. Moving on to the Battlesmith. So the Battlesmith gives you tool proficiencies and smithing's tools, similar to like the Armorer. Again, you can swap that out if you already have it. Your expanded spell list includes stuff like Heroism, Shield, Aura, Vitality, Conjure Barrage, stuff like that. Things like Battle Ready allow you to gain proficiency in martial weapons, and when you attack with a magic weapon, you can use your intelligence modifier instead of strength and dexterity. That's pretty nice. Steel Defender. So you get an extra stat block for this. It's essentially like a Beastmaster's Companion, except for the Artificer. So you can create a Steel Defender construct, which has its own stat block. I believe you can make it look like whatever you want it to look like, or at least I would rule it that way, as long as it's not, absolutely giant. That is, if as long as like the look of it doesn't impede, like it doesn't directly contradict what the stats of the Steel Defender say, or what the extra abilities that are stated within the feature here. Like as long as it doesn't contradict that, I think you can make it look like whatever you want. So just follow the stat block, stuff like that. That would be up to DM's own. Like if you have a DM that thinks any differently, or you would like to talk to your DM about that, go ahead and do that. They could probably change something up for you. You gained extra attack, so you can attack twice rather than once whenever you make an attack action on your turn. So similar to dual wielding, I guess. Arcane Jolt, which just allows you to add 2d6 force damage, and I think that's when you're using your cannon, right? Let's see. Learned new ways to channel arcane energy to harm or heal. When either you hit a target with a magic weapon or your Steel Defender, okay, I said cannon, I meant Steel Defender, sorry. You get stuff like that. You can choose a creature or object you can see within 30 feet of you, and you can use healing energy to restore 2d6 hit points to it. You can use this energy a number of times equal to your intelligence modifier. You regain all those expended uses at a long rest. And then Improved Defender, this just, improves your defender. So it increases that arcane jolt damage to 4d6, and I believe your Steel Defender also gains a AC bonus. and you can use it to deflect an attack. And the attacker himself takes force damage equal to, I want to say 1d4 plus your intelligence modifier. I have the book right. Hold on. Yeah, okay. So that, and then I'm going to make a separate one for, actually, no, yeah, I should make a separate one for the infusions, because this is already 15 minutes. So that one will go up at the same time today, and then I'm going to try and go over some of the other subclasses for the different classes of this one, and eventually I'm going to make my way to magic weapons and feats. So until then, I will see you next time.